to day 8 of our 10-day journey into beauty as a soulful language. We are winding down this series, and I'm so excited for these last 3 videos. We are going to dive right into the topic for today, which is harmony. There is such a beauty, a strong, abundant beauty in harmony, in what we are harmonizing our life with. And oftentimes, when we become aware of what we are harmonizing our life with, we can see where we might be blocking more beauty and abundance and miracles and magic from flowing into our life. And we also might see how we can make adjustments to what we are doing in our life and how we can further harmonize to what we desire to be vibrating on the same frequency of. So with harmony, when you think about harmony, there's this feeling and this sense of different tones, different tonality, and different frequency of voice or music or whatever it might be, different octaves of a delivery of a melody or of a song that come together in a succinct way, in a harmony. When they orchestrate together, even though they're different, they harmonize with each other and create something even more beautiful and complex than it may have been just with one tone or one voice or one instrument. So taking that concept and applying it to life, applying it to our soul purpose. When we have a soul purpose and this sense of higher self, where our destiny life lives within that part of us, and then we have who we are and how we're functioning as a human being. When those two things are syncing up together and aligning, that harmony begins. This concept has been something that's been eye-opening to me because there's so much talk, especially in the spiritual industry, about aligning and centering and making yourself purpose or aligning with the divinity within you, or aligning with the spiritual guides that you have, or whatever that might be. And the truth of the matter is, we live in a world where duality is prevalent all around us. The light has the darkness. There's an opposite to everything. There is something that cradles the good. There's good and bad. All of that exists in the world that we live in today, and we are experiencing that in our human form in this lifetime. So when it comes to our life purpose, our soul purpose, and who we are as a soul, a lot of times our human experience doesn't fully align with what that is, because we're experiencing the density of being in this duality of living in the human form. That's part of why we're here on earth, is to learn that and to learn the things that come of that, to learn the human experience, to learn through humanity and how we work within humanity, to learn of ego, and to learn of fear, and all of these things that we're learning and experiencing, in my opinion, is so that we can return and remember the pureness of who we are, and the pureness of our light, and the love that we were created, the love and the abundance that our very being is made of. And so when we think about that, we think about the experiences that we have here on earth, it kind of shifts to start thinking more in terms of harmonizing your life with your soul purpose, harmonizing your life with the divine influence that's around you, harmonizing your life with all of these essences in other dimensions in our spiritual, soulful self, that we harmonize everything to center within that. And when we're harmonizing it, it's not that we're trying to be it, or like that there's one tone. It's that there is this tone of purpose and this tone of divinity that we are harmonizing everything we are to. So it's creating a more multi-dimensional experience in song and melody and way of life as we do that. And it's beautiful because we see it's no longer an attainment necessarily, like, oh, I want to attain spiritual enlightenment. It's, here's spiritual enlightenment, I am harmonizing my life with that. The fact of the matter is, no one can be perfect here. No one can be perfect. Perfect does not exist here in this lifetime. On this earth, perfect doesn't exist. There are things that come close to perfect, or maybe the more heavenly or utopian. And when we find what that is, we see that the path to that feeling, that essence of utopia, is usually within following purpose and harmonizing our life with soul purpose. So I'm going to ask, as part of the exercise we're going to do today, what are you harmonizing your life with? So take a moment to do something. You can even get artistic with this. Take just a piece of white paper, and you can even bring all kinds of different colors, grab crayons, do whatever you want to do. We're just going to let yourself get creative right now as you tune into what are you harmonizing your life with right now. What do you harmonize yourself with every single day? Are you harmonizing with the energies you want to be harmonizing with? Are you bringing in experiences, life experiences, to that will further harmonize yourself and your experience here on earth with that of the divine nature that is cradling you through this experience with your higher self, with your soul purpose? What kind of experiences are you bringing into your life? Are you harmonizing with the masculine energies or the feminine energies, or both? How balanced is that? How harmonized are those two energies within yourself? So thinking about some of these things, diving deeper into a couple different multifacets. So when it comes to the energies that you harmonize with in life, so that's the first category. What energies are you harmonizing with? Are they positive? Are they negative? Is there a tone of sadness? Is there a tone of happiness? Like, what emotions come through the energies that you're harmonizing with? What are you attracting? What are things that are coming into your life that you feel like you have to juggle, that maybe just making some slight adjustments and harmonizing yourself with your purpose, some of those things might fall away that you're juggling that you don't need to be juggling. A lot of times in the process of diving into this harmonizing practice in your life, you will find that there is a sense of dissonance that is created, that the universe helps create for us to experience, so that it shakes up some of the things that aren't meant to be a part of our identity, a part of our experience in this lifetime, and that might be blinding us from what we need to be focusing on and what is in full alignment with our soul purpose. So dissonance can be created that shake up and rattle some of those things to fall away. And a lot of times it's very difficult when that happens, especially when it comes to our identities. we tend as human beings to create our identities based on our where we put our worth, like what different areas we might place our worth or piece our worth into. We put our identity in what our title in our career is, or what titles we hold within our life. Like it could be, you have an identity as a mother, and that's really all your whole identity is built around in your mental frame is I'm a mother. This is what I am. I'm a mother. That's it. Like this is my full identity. And then a lot of times when that's what we take on as an identity, a singular identity, and our kids grow and move out and have their own adult lives, we then have this crisis of, wait a second, that was my identity. Who am I now? Like I'm not this one singular thing. Who you have to rediscover yourself in that scenario. Dissonance happens. So a lot of times that dissonance happens to show us where we have singularized our identity, where we have made it one level versus a multifaceted identity that we have and hold within us. Another example that happens often is the career we're in. So we may put our full identity into the career we're in, and we start to mistake that career as our purpose. We start to think that that is why we're here, is to build this career and have this title in this career, whatever that might be. And then whatever happens to shake us out of that, to create that dissonance where we finally see, wait a second, there's something more. There's something missing here. There's something that my soul is yearning to share outside of this one singular identity that my mind has created for me. This dissonance happens to shake that up and expand us into the truth of who we are and why we're here. And that in itself is a multifaceted reason. So when we try to singularize and put something in such a linear, put something in a box, so to speak, the universe works with us to shake that mentality up, to open our mind into the multifaceted beings that we are, and how expanded our real, true purpose, soul purpose, is in our lifetime, that extends outside of any of those singular identities that we can take on mentally. So that might look like, what I mean by this can get difficult, what that might look like is things start not working out in your career, or you become unhappy or uncomfortable in your career, or maybe too comfortable in your career, and you see that as you dive deeper into that, this feeling of unhappiness that might come from that shows you that there's more, that there's other facets that you need to explore, to express and create from, and come to the fullness of who you are and what your identity really is. Identity is such a tricky thing, and we tend to make it a very unilevel experience when it is so multidimensional. A lot of times when that happens, we may lose a job, or we may have to have a career change, or something could happen to shake us again, creating that dissonance to bring us out of that comfort and to really step into and own where our soul is trying to lead us. The other common one, the third one I'll discuss, which is a really common one, is relationships. We can get so lost in relationships when we present within a partnership or within a relationship, we present one part of our identity, or even two parts of our identity, versus our full self. And this person can fall in love with that one part of our identity that we're showing them, And all of these other parts of us, that when they start emerging, this person's left over here thinking, wait a second, who are you? You know, and that comes about again too. However we know ourselves is how we allow our significant others and our partners to know us. So if we're comfortable and in that place, that's what happens. But if we're not, and we don't take that time to know who we are on a full, pure level, then the relationship could be the part of our life that we start to see that dissonance, where things are shaken up and cracked open, and we realize how much we are or are not seeing ourselves, and how much we are making ourselves a priority or not. A relationship is a big way that can happen. Relationships can end to create that dissonance, for us to see, wait, oh, this is who I am. This is what I've been missing. I have been blinded by this one singular identity that I've taken on, or I've been blinded by who I thought I was versus who I really am. And now I'm coming to know that again, know who I am again. So kind of stepping into being who you are, not being who you think someone else wants you to be. That's a big way that the universe works with our higher self to create that dissonance, so we can then harmonize with our soul and with purpose. This is such a deep topic to dive into in this one video, and I love this concept and bringing this to light, because it is such a powerful thing to realize that we are the alchemists of our own life and of our own experience and of our own relationship and knowing of ourself. And whatever that is, that knowing within ourself, wherever that's at, is kind of how you are going to function in life, in this lifetime, and will likely be what feeds the experiences that you have or that you attract to your life. Anything that you're attracting to your life could be, again, dissonance coming to crack you open to what you are meant to be stepping into at this time. It could also be just a way to reset and reaffirm you into the position and the place that you need to be in. So harmonizing can often have that dissonance that comes in, and it can be scary when you're in it, but once you get on the other side of it and harmonize and go through that harmonizing of life to soul purpose, you awaken to something even bigger than you ever could have imagined, which is so beautiful and amazing to experience. So, to go back to the exercise, exploring number one, what energy are you harmonizing with now? Is it aligned? Is it what you want to have in your life? What energy, the energy that you find in your life consistently, is that what you want? And if it's not, how can you crack out of that, break out of that, and harmonize with the energies you do want to be harmonizing and bringing into your life? What are you harmonizing within yourself? So what is it, the helm, what's at the top of what you are harmonizing everything else to? Is it your mind? Is it your logic? Is it your spirit? Is it your soul? Is it your heart? Is it emotion? Is it your hopes and dreams? What is at the top of that? Like, what is that baseline that you are going to harmonize everything else to? Give it a name. Figure out what that is. Take a minute to write down, what is that baseline? What do you want your whole life experience to be harmonizing with? Is it your soul purpose? Maybe you don't know what that is yet. Maybe you don't know what that soul purpose is, and maybe it's the mere just one thing as simple and powerful as love, that you want to harmonize everything about you too. Yes, so that's the second one. So one, what energy are you harmonizing with in your life? Number two, what is at the baseline of what you're harmonizing your existence, your being with? So is it your mind? Is it your heart? Is it your soul? Is it your spirit? What is it? What is that one thing? And dive deep into that baseline. And then from those two things, just figuring out, okay, maybe you might see where some changes need to be made. Maybe you might see that you are harmonizing and it's grooving and you're loving the rhythm of it and all of that. And that's amazing. So that's the exercise for today. I am so excited to see what comes of that for you, just tuning into what you're harmonizing with. So I'm going to leave you with that. We are going to sign off for today, and tomorrow dive into day 9. Last day after that will be day 10. I am amazed that this has gone as quickly as it has. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I will talk to you tomorrow.